Absolutely not.
Okay, so like
Um,
some of the Texas rosés are like red and
really?
gross, like really freaking sweet.
Oh no,
Like
I
a
don't like the
Texas
sweet
rosé,
ones.
like the one that we're known for here, Delaney Vineyards. We don't actually. Okay, so we have a vineyard here,
Yeah.
and they don't actually sell the wine here because no one will buy it because we're like a
Yeah.
small town, and
Where do they
uh,
send it to? Where what
they
poor
have a
people are
they have a like a
drinking it?
okay, you remember Dallas? They have a winery in Dallas, and
Yeah.
the actual place is here, and they make it
Mm.
here and they'll ship it to Dallas and sell it there. But okay, so they were known for this really repulsive sweet wine,
Yeah.
their Delaney Rosé,
Hmm.
and so many people since it's a small town have worked there that if you go to somebody's house and you're like partying or whatever, and they
Yeah.
say, "Hey, do you feel like like having some wine?" They'll bring out a bottle of this
Oh dear.
sweet ass nasty wine from whenever they worked there, and it's like this old ass wine, and they'll pop it open. The grossest thing, okay, so there's not a lot of people who drink wine, so the
Right.
grossest thing is that they've opened it like a year ago, and
Oh
they had it
no,
in their
no.
fridge, and they think that it's gonna like keep and shit.
It's like
Like,
partly vinegar.
yeah, it's like you can use that on a salad, but
Yeah.
it'd still be gross to sweet as fuck. Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it would taste like, a rosé that is turned bad.
Yeah, I
Sounds
don't know.
disgusting.
I don't know either. But yeah, this one is thankfully very dry. But I can't even imagine a vineyard near you because all I remember is a desert and those little dudes, those little things pumping the oil out everywhere and road.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw one plant the whole time. That's not true, but
Not a
there
single
weren't
plant.
very many of them.
Um, I was gonna say something about it, about the vineyard. I had some friends who worked there. I don't know if I've already told you this. I had some friends that worked out there, and the way they clean their equipment is they used grain alcohol, so Everclear.
Right.
So on the weekends, they use that day to start cleaning the equipment, and they would take shots of Everclear right from the cleaning thing.
Oh God, that's not
Yeah,
good
because
for you. I don't
I
think.
know.
I'm pretty sure that's not a good idea.
Well, I mean, it's not like medical grade fucking alcohol. I forgot what kind of alcohol they call it, but it is filtered enough that you could consume it because it needs to be that pure
Oh
to
man.
clean the equipment that they're using. But still,
Oh,
taking
that's
shots of
horrible.
Everclear at work is not a good idea, much less, at a
No,
party or whatever, but at work in the middle of the day.
that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
getting screwed up at work.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever been. Oh, no, that's not true. I was going to say I've never been drunk at work, but I guess I've been to like work lunches that went a bit long. And then I've
Yeah,
had to
yeah,
go
yeah.
back to work and I've been like, oh boy, I can't be productive right now.
I think you're gonna have to turn up just a little bit.
Okay.
I thought
Is
we
that
had it
better?
down. Yeah,
Oh,
it sounds a
no.
little bit better.
Okay. Good. I'm also maybe like because I've had a sore throat, I'm
Mm-hmm.
probably not talking very loudly. I am
Hmm.
still a little bit croaky, as you can probably
Croaky.
tell. I'm a bit like,
Is that
yeah,
how,
I've got a
like
frog in my throat.
is croaky like how close is that to crikey? Like croaky and like is that on the same
I
line?
do not, okay, this is like, I do not say crikey, okay? I don't say crikey. I don't say g'day when I pass someone. Oh, okay, maybe I do
Anymore.
sometimes.
Anymore.
Maybe I do sometimes. Not very often. What's the other ones? Struth. I
I've
don't
never
say
heard
that.
that. What the fuck is that?
Oh God. I don't know. It's like an exclamation. It's like a whoa, Struth.
What does
I
it
don't
even
say it.
mean?
It's
Like
just
what's the
like an
definition?
exclamation. It's just like a whoa, holy shit. It's like saying that.
Yeah,
But
but
not it's
usually
not a
like
curse. It's like
but there's an
cuss.
origin of the expression. I wonder what the origin of that is.
I'm not a real
Stru-
Australian, so I couldn't tell you. See, I don't say it. I can't. I haven't embraced the culture yet. They should have told me that when I got my citizenship. What does struth mean? What else do they say? What was the one you said? Crikey. Yeah.
Crikey. That's
Crikey. Crikey.
the crocodile hunter guy.
Yeah,
He used to
yeah.
say crikey all the time.
Right. What
So
else did he
uh,
say? Anyway, I'm not that Australian. Come on.
on my on my trip to Dave's, I drank so much sediment. He has like older wines, and then the sediment started going at the bottom.
Oh
And
yeah, I don't like
when
that.
he would when he would pour it, like he would use the filter. When Dave would pour it, he would like be nice
Oh,
enough. He
okay.
pulls out the filter and then do it. And then I'm like one bottle in, like we'd split a bottle, and then I'm ready. I'm gonna go get up to pour it because I don't want to have to him get up. And he doesn't
Hmm.
tell me, hey, I used the filter on that one. I just start pouring it, and I like end up with all this sediment.
Oh no.
Yeah, well, not so good.
Yeah, is that like a big thing with the wine over there? Because it's very rare here. Like you don't get that much sediment in a
It's
wine
because of
cellar.
how the age.
Mm.
They're like from the 90s and 80s.
Oh wow, you guys had some really old wine.
Yeah, yeah. It's stuff that he had bought when he was in California, and they were really big into wine at one time, and they bought like cases and cases of good stuff, really good stuff, like amazing stuff, and they had
Yeah.
brought it to Colorado, and they've just been like drinking like usually they drink one good bottle every once in a while or whatever, but when I
Yeah.
come they bring out a lot of good bottles. So
Yeah.
I'm lucky and I get to try a lot of really good stuff. And
It
that's
is
where I've tried
lucky.
like,
But it's also because they're trying to get rid of it before they move.
hey,
It's
hey,
not
they
just because
don't
of
even say
you.
that.
It's not just because of you. No,
Well,
it's all because of you. You're the
yeah,
special
it's
guest
all
that
because of me.
invites himself.
Yeah. That's where I had like Zinfandels and stuff that were really, really like the most impressive Zins that I've ever had. But anyway, that's
Fancy
beside the point.
wine talk. I don't know. I just drink some and go, oh yeah, this is nice. This rosé is actually nice. I'm not a big rosé person, but
Really.
it's good. Mm.
Hmm.
It has like just a hint of sweetness, but it's actually good with this one. It was a like gift. James brought it when he came to play games.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And you guys didn't bring it out?
No, because it was like a daytime thing.
Hmm.
So, I don't think I play games very well when I've been drinking.
You're
Surprise,
supposed to play them the
surprise.
best.
No, there's probably like a sweet spot, you know?
Hmm.
So like one drink in or something is okay, but any more than that, it's like playing pool.
Uh, was that the first time he was at your house? Is that why you brought it, or he just brings one all the time?
It wasn't the first time he's been, but well, Dean is usually the one that brings wine, but Dean
Hmm.
couldn't come. So maybe James was like, I've got to bring the wine now
Oh,
because
that
Dean's
makes
not
sense.
coming. Yeah,
Did you guys play Station Fall?
we did. And I know you played it too.
Yeah, so I guess we
Yeah.
can like I don't want it to sound like a segment like we freaking set this up.
Yeah,
Hey, let's talk
we
about
did.
Station
We
Fall.
we totally planned it. No.
Yeah.
Uh I did play it. It was good. I liked it. I thought it was really cool having to think about ways that I could get the other characters to do the thing that my character needed done. I
Hmm.
just thought that was really cool. I liked that. And James actually was particularly good at it because Kerry and I were convinced that he was the chimp. We were convinced that he was the chimp, and so we knocked down the chimp, and he's
Hmm.
like, "Haha, I'm not the chimp," and then we were like, "You're the counselor," because he was just collecting a whole bunch of stuff. There was a lot of collection going on, like picking up the artifact, picking up the compromise, blah blah blah. And I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Okay, you're the counselor then." So then we knocked the counselor down. Haha, I'm not the counselor. I'm like, God. We were knocking people down like left, right, and center. It was
Oh,
hilarious
crazy.
because Kerry turned off the cameras on the spaceship, so it was like it was on like Donkey Kong. Everyone's just getting bashed over their head.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same thing that happened in ours. The lights went off. I mean, the cameras went off pretty quick, and then it was a
yeah.
free for all. Like everybody was almost knocked out. Then, like action started happening at a crawl. Like
Oh,
everyone's knocked out, so it was really slow for a moment.
yeah. I'm wondering whether, like, from the game I've played and the one that I watched at the Board Game BBQ game day, I'm wondering if it's not. It certainly seems like, with my limited experience, that it's easier for the bad guys, or at
Mm.
least uh, if there's, like we only had 3 players when I played it, and there was 2 of us that sort of had quote unquote bad agendas where we
Hmm.
we didn't care if people went down, and there was only one person who wanted to like be good and save people, revive people, and stuff. So I feel like, yeah, I think it's probably very hard in that case for the goodies to win. Because
Probably.
because of the advantage of, if you knock people down, they can't really do anything. You need to revive them. And the bad people have that, thing where they don't care who's knocked down.
Right.
So it's
And
like, yeah,
every time
I
you
don't
go and see somebody revive somebody, you just go and knock them both down or whatever.
exactly. Or like in my case, I took down the medical robots. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of reviving going on at all.
You had to get that
And
jail stuff or whatever.
yeah.
The
So I don't
reviving
know, maybe
jail.
maybe they need to like recommend that you do some kind of reshuffle or something, so that you make sure that, I don't even know how you would do this, but make sure there's good characters,
Mm.
more good characters than bad, or something like that.
Hmm.
I don't know. How did your play go?
This was my first play. The rules overhead was a little much for what it was.
Yeah.
Like I sat there through a rules uh, teach,
Which you
and
hate anyway, because you just
yeah,
want
I
to
already
like
hate it.
teach me as I
Yeah,
go.
yeah, teach me
Yeah.
as I go. I'm gonna suck the first game anyway.
Mm.
I'm not gonna retain a lot of this stuff, even though it sounds like I am, because I'm just repeating what you're saying to me right back to you. But it's not doing any good. So I don't know. Like I basically had to stop Lyndon and go, "Hey, man, let's just play." Like
Yeah.
you don't have to go into the individual people. I would rather just ask you as I have chances to as I'm playing, and I can just learn as I go, because you guys have all played before, and you guys will just. I will just watch through. I'll watch and learn and play. I kind of like get the information through osmosis almost. So like yeah. So
Plus, you can
um
pick up the characters and look at them whenever you want. You can
yeah,
pick
yeah.
them
When
up and
someone else is
go,
going and shit, yeah.
right, what are they doing? Like if I say, oh, I'm going to use um the cyborg this round, then people can go, oh, okay, and then what do they do? What can they do? Blah blah. You can do it that way, whatever.
Do you think like okay, so the game is set up like a Euro, like as far as rules over not as far as like the mechanics of it, other than each individual piece and having so many different rules for each character. Other than that, it's basically a Euro, you know. So
You reckon?
yeah, just the
Well,
action
define Euro.
selection.
I mean,
The action selection
mm,
thing, they all work the same. The difference is in the characters.
mm,
There's no like dice. There's no outside random elements like that. The random elements are
yeah,
pretty much the player's input.
players doing weird things. Well,
Yeah,
that's why it
players
doesn't
do.
feel Euro to me. I
Hmm.
don't know, but we could
Well, I mean, if
argue
it's
over.
not a euro, why not use dice? Why not, like when you're gonna hit somebody in the head, fucking roll a die to see if you're actually
This
gonna
is
knock
like
them over.
someone said the other day. It's like every game to me that like is a Euro now. That's not a miniatures game, because I don't think anyone. We're like, what does it even mean?
No,
Because
I
uh,
go
this
ahead.
doesn't feel like a Euro to me, and it feels like something totally different. It feels quite like a unique game to me. This to me is like a narrative game, because every game is like a different story and a different set of events that happened because of people. Whereas a
I mean,
Euro is kind of like a set thing. We're all going to sit here and like gather resources and pay for things and get and score points. And we're generally scoring for the same kind of things. In this, it's like everyone's scoring for something weird. And
see, I wouldn't. I would define a euro as it has to be modular, and this game is modular.
why does a
Um,
Euro have to be modular?
it's just the way they've always been since day one. They've just been like the elements of setup are just different. Like from Catan, from Daimacher, like it's all just has modular beginning.
Really? Does Catan have a modular beginning? Like, how so?
Like
Just,
the
just in
board
the
is different every
location.
time,
Mm,
and where you choose
I
is going to be different.
guess it's very similar though. Like,
It's not as
the
similar as looking at a.
variabilities
It's not like
is
looking at a Monopoly board
that's true.
that's static versus dynamic. So I would say that it is
Right.
a euro is going to be modular. Whether you think that it's the samey, it's still going to be different places. Maybe you're going to do the same thing. Um, everybody has a chance to win. Uh, like in round, maybe that's a little different because the paths diverge pretty abruptly in that game. Like halfway through, you'll be like, you have no chance to win, so you just try to screw everything up.
Right.
So and
In
maybe it's
stateful,
a
you
hybrid.
mean?
I don't know.
And you can't do that in Catan. You can't do that in Catan, can you? You
Do
can't
what?
just you can't screw everything up just
You
because you're not
can't
gonna
hit
win.
people in the head and knock them over.
Flip the table. That'll do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh,
I guess
I don't
because
know what a
of
euro is. Like, I honestly don't. I don't know what that really means. I
well,
just
one
think that, like, some people say, it's like, the original Euros from Germany were very solitary, not interactive and da 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 da.
oh,
But
I
I've played
disagree with
plenty of
that.
games coming out of Germany that have been really interactive. And
Yeah, I totally
yeah,
disagree with
yeah,
that.
your idea of old school Euro is like really
Completely
new.
interactive and set like everything you do affects other players. I wouldn't say take that, but it's very close.
Right.
And that's like
And the modular thing, and
yeah,
and you say no dice.
yeah. Well, the random element is player input usually,
Yeah.
not some like a random is something bad going to happen? Roll a die,
Yeah.
kind of a deal.
Yeah. I was gonna
And
make a
we're
joke that you had a euro with dice in it, but it's not. You don't roll the dice, so
no, they're
that doesn't
counters.
count. Yeah.
I use dice as counters,
Yeah.
and that's just I've done that forever. It's just kind of the
You
thing.
also have tokens that are cubes.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
That was awesome. That was a genius move. I feel
That
like
was
I'm
only
so close to the microphone you can hear me breathing. like
no, it's not.
stalk of
Well, I might
breathing.
be able to hear you breathing, but not enough.
Oh, he likes it.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a hybrid. To me, it's Euro-y because other there's no like real combat in it. Nobody like it's really hard to kill somebody in that thing.
In Station 4.
Yeah, like to actually
Yeah.
kill them, you have to drag them
Right.
into that one room and shit to terminate them. But I guess because there is death, I don't know. Is there player elimination because of that? Because of the death thing? I mean, they're still
Well,
playing as other characters trying to stop other people from winning.
right, unless they'd revealed, because once you reveal, you can only be that character, right?
Right. Can you kill a person that's been revealed, knock them out, and drag them into that one thing?
I can't remember. We didn't have any actual death. We just had a lot of people
Yeah,
getting
we didn't have
knocked
any death
down.
either.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you think of it? Did you like it?
I liked it for what it is. It's not
Uh,
my style of game.
and you never want to
Um,
play it again. No.
well, there's too many variables to compete like I like to compete. Like, if
Mm,
we played it maybe 20 times, we could see who gets good at the game and how they're able to manipulate players and all this. But it's not something that you're going to put away on the shelf, pull it out after 20 plays, and maybe a year later you pull it out and you try to play it. There's not going to be, um, I think you'd have to start all over, basically, is what I'm saying. Like, as far as learning how to manipulate all the players and stuff, where,
mm.
like a standard, what the games that I like are pretty, like, I don't know, you could learn it really well, skip a year, come back to it, and maybe do well.
Oh, well, really? I
Yeah,
think
some
that's
of
just not me. I have to like relearn. I think my memory's not good enough for that. I get so rubbish if I haven't played something in that long.
I
Like,
can
I'm basically starting again. I've already learnt too many other games, and the old rules are just completely gone. Like, Ian had to reteach me Glory to Rome basically from scratch. And when I sat at the table, I was like, no, 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 it's Glory to Rome. I remember this game. And then I was like,
not so
no,
much.
I got nothing other than the fact that if you play a card, I can play the same one and
How
follow it. That's the only thing I could remember.
how did you like if I showed when I showed you the picture of my car in or my factory in Horseless
Oh,
Carriage,
Horseless Garage.
how did
Yeah.
you even remember half of the rules? Like if I look at a picture like that, I'm not going to remember the rules, but if I'm playing it, if I'm in the situation, then the rules will like come back to me.
Oh, okay. No, because I think we have different memory loss. Like a year ago, forget about it. I've got no like recollection at all. And you're like, the past week, forget about it. I've got no recollection at all. Whereas I'm like, no, the past week's fine. I remember that. I can remember
Oh,
that. Beyond that's gone.
yeah, I can't remember
S-
30 minutes
but
usually.
it's
Like,
funny
we're
that, yeah, you reminded me that I played the hard mode of Horseless Carriage because I was like, this is all illegal. And you're like, no, it's not. I'm like, oh, isn't it?
yeah, and there was several people who looked at that my configuration of the car and assumed that it was illegal, and it all had to do with one word or two words, and I forgot what the words were in the rules, but it basically said something like uh also. I think the word was also, and it's easy to miss that word because it says
Yeah.
like also you can also do this, which meant it didn't exclude like that you can't connect it this way, and several people missed it.
And also, the game is so deep that when you're reading the rules, that doesn't sink into you because you are like, why would I even want to do that thing? You know, like this is the same thing that happened to me with the cost because there were rules like that subsidy thing I'd basically forgotten. And why had I forgotten it? Because I'm like, I don't want to pay $3 to do any action that, like, there's no way I'm going to pay $3 to do an action.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Fuck that. And so I'd
yeah.
forgotten that because my brain was like, no, that's a dumb thing to do. I'm not going to do that. And it's the same thing I think with Horseless Carriage because the game is so deep and you're like, why would I put two dealerships on the same main line or whatever the hell it was? I can't remember. And now that I've played it, it does make sense why you would do that because then you get two little plastic annoying things to put
Yeah.
on the board so you can sell stuff. Yeah. So it's the game's fault for being too deep. It's too good. That's its problem. It's too good. But the thing with Station Fall, I think you're just maybe a little bit too competitive, and you can't handle that game. Like I think with that game, you have to accept that it's kind of one of those experience things that hey, it doesn't really matter if I'm not competitive or people can totally screw me over. And I actually was playing quote unquote well and I had a plan and through like with absolutely no thought to try and screw me over, people just randomly did stuff and it screwed me over. I think people can't handle that if they're too competitive. Like they don't like that. It's like you didn't even know you were screwing me over, but you did accidentally, so you shouldn't have won. Like that kind of thing. I think you're kind of one of those people. Like you're too
Not
competitive for Station 4.
well, yeah, I would agree with the competitive part. I don't mind like being screwed over and it okay, so I don't this is really a funky part because like if
Mm.
we're playing a game and you decide like okay, so you're pissed off or you're not really wanting to play. So we're playing in a group, you're
Right.
pissed off or don't want to play or you do some random shit that screws me over. Like
Right.
just random like we could have been using dice. You didn't do it for any benefit except for just you wanted to screw around. Yeah, that can
Yeah.
get annoying because you've unbalanced the game. You've made the game where someone's going to win not based on their ability, but based on the fact that they don't have some random person fucking with them. You know? Yeah, that
Yeah.
that bothers me. Okay, so you take a game like Station Fall that has that throughout. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me in Station Fall is it's hard to gauge how well a player is really doing.
Yeah.
Like truly gauge. Like I had this argument many times with Lyndon about having player powers. I prefer no player powers and us have a very similar start and let's compete. Let's see who can figure this out more or better. You
Hmm.
know, let's
So
have
like
that
an
competition.
alternate Station 4 where you're actually all just trying to get the most stuff and get the hell off. And it's like
So more Euro-y.
who yeah, now that does sound like a Euro.
Yeah, so a little bit more Euro. Yeah,
Oh, you're so cute. You're like, it's not Euro-y enough for me.
it I
But
guess it is. I
yeah,
appreciate what it does. I think it looks
mm,
neat. It tells a really interesting story.
yeah.
Um
It's
it's cool that
different.
you
It's unique.
right, but I don't. Okay, it's rare when I want to play something for the experience just because I don't have that fucking kind of time. Like, there's a lot of games to play in this world,
You're a busy man.
and I'm a busy person. Like, why?
Okay.
I I'm not playing board games to have unique experiences. I'm playing to be competitive with my
Really?
friends and
Yeah, okay. So that's what I meant. I didn't say, I didn't mean that you are the
oh,
person
I
that
know
doesn't
what you
like
meant.
random people. You play games for the competitive element.
Yeah.
So Station Fall's like not that. I can totally see that that is not that. So
But I totally respect how it does stuff. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
Like how they came up with the thing. It's
I
I
had
would
fun playing it. I had a lot of fun playing it.
if
I was
you're
like, this shit's crazy.
if you're only going to play it once or twice, I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze because of the amount of rules overhead. Unless you don't care, unless you're willing to learn on the spot. But if you really want to learn the game, you need to play it like 4 or 5 times. Just you really need to get comfortable with the game. It's got a lot of overhead.
You have to play it 2 times in one sitting, I think.
Oh,
Because
where you do the
you're gonna like totally fuck it up. 3 turns in, you're gonna be like, oh, can we start
you
again?
start
Because
again.
I didn't know what the hell was going on. You're gonna be like that. You need to play it twice in a sitting because, like you said, there's just ridiculous amounts of things to take in. All the different special things the characters do. Plus, they have special goals. Plus, there's rooms that do things.
Yeah, that
Plus,
does
you
not
get
sound. You make it sound like not a euro.
it's not. And then you get to a point where you're like, how do we even fucking launch the launch pods if we wanted to? And then do we even want to? And then what's this Project X? Like, there's too many things going on. You have to do it. Like you said, if you're going to get, like, try and play it one time. No, you're just not going to get. And I had, like, because I taught it at the Board Game BBQ game day, and there was definitely people at the table who were like that. They were like totally overwhelmed by the sheer amount of shit going on in the game, and they just kind of felt like, this whole thing is like, now I get it, and it's just
This game's screwed.
this game's screwed,
Let's start
and of
over.
course, let's start over, but of course we can't do that because it's a game day. So yeah, so it wasn't the best game day game to teach, 100% not. And I didn't even play it. I just was like, I'm going to teach it, and then I'm going to watch it. I'm going to like help because there's too many things to tell you straight away.
Yeah, there was a lot. That brings me to something sort of. I'm gonna segue into something else
Okay, but can I
because
just say one thing? Can I just
no,
say
you
one thing?
can't. No,
No, the only reason I even fucking played that game at game day was for somebody who requested it and then
and they weren't
didn't.
even there.
They didn't fucking go. No, they went to the game day, but they didn't play that. Oh, it was hilarious. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's okay. Um, yeah. So
Does
what
my
I
does my rant there, my
You
angry
know, that's
rant
common.
segue?
That is very
Oh
common.
really?
Like I find myself stressing out over learning a game that somebody says, "We want to play this. We're going to learn this. We're going to do
Mm,
this." And it never works out. It never fucking works out. It's
right.
like someone will say, "Hey, let's play, like 1817. Oh, let me go bone up on the rules, get ready." And
Yeah.
then I'll spend, an hour going back over the rules, and then the next day I'll look over them again, and then we're about to play, and then it doesn't happen.
Mm.
Oh, let's not waste all day playing 1817. Let's go dick around with some other shit. And it's like, what?
Like, how
Shit
dare
pisses
you?
me off, man.
Yeah. Next time someone wants to specifically play something, I'll be like, you can learn it and teach me.
Well, yeah, there's no skin off of their back whenever they tell you to teach it. It's not like they feel obligated to play it. I did you a favor. You learned to fucking teach it. You can teach someone else.
Although I will say that watching Station Fall is definitely like in terms of games to watch other people playing, it's up
Hmm.
there. There's not a lot of games I want to watch people playing, but this one was actually quite fun to watch people play.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Why are you looking sideways like that?
I had to look over there to see if my camera didn't look like it was moving. So I was like, oh, am I
Yeah.
am I fucking stuck?
Are you frozen? No, you're not
Oh, my
frozen.
brother.
To me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So on this storytelling thing, okay, so there was a designer guy on Twitter, and you know how like design Twitter just drives me nuts. Board game design Twitter drives me fucking
We
crazy.
love to hate it. We love to hate it. Yeah.
A guy wrote. This is gonna get into a whole different conversation. The guy wrote,
Okay.
"I'm gonna write an article about uh using storytelling in board games, right? Like using
All right.
storytelling elements in board games." And the guy basically designs Euros, and he's gonna talk about. He says he's gonna write this article, right?
Hmm.
And he's trying to find places to post it or whatever. So this brings me to Like, let's say you've designed other games that have been signed or whatever, and you never really accomplished that. You like didn't accomplish that task. You didn't tell great stories, or by and large, let's say your game isn't very highly ranked,
Right.
and people complain about the story being told, and then you're now writing something about, you know, I'm gonna
People
write
complain
this
in what way? Like they were like, we bought Sarah's game because we thought it was going to be about
a little bit
making.
of that, but it's mostly like they don't
Okay.
like the game. It's too brutal. It
Okay.
doesn't, the story isn't compelling enough, or whatever.
Right.
So
Okay.
maybe as as a dick that I am, like I read this and
Mm.
I'm like, how are you gonna write an article when you haven't done the thing you're technically writing an article about? In my opinion, okay, so like I'm being a dick
Right.
about it. So we've had a conversation before where we talk about people who write these how-to things when they don't
Yeah.
have a whole lot of experience in the how-to thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then I talk about, um, you know, having the experience first and then teaching it. But then
Mm.
you brought up the fact that, well, that I think you, not in so many words, but like they should have the right to write it, you know?
Mm.
Like we can't just like we're not supposed to say, "Hey, don't write it because you're not qualified."
You game shit. Don't write it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can't say that. That's not
you're
nice.
giving shit advice because your game is shit, or maybe you can write a great article but you can't do it well. I don't get it. And I'm not
Some
trying to pick on the
people are
guy himself. I'm
right.
just saying like the people who write these board game things, or guides to writing books or whatever. Let's say if you're not an accomplished novelist. Let's say you've never been published and you're writing a how to write a novel thing.
Right. Right.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like that. Or like your
Yeah.
novel hasn't done very well, but you're writing on this is what you should do when you write. That kind of shit drives me crazy.
Yes. It's a tough one because some teachers are good at teaching things and they bone up about something and then they can teach it. So maybe these people just have it's not like through the experience of their particular game, but maybe it's through multiple experiences,
Through other
you know.
people's stuff. So
Well,
does
kind
that
of.
mean
Okay, let's like take playtesting, right? You can have someone playtest your game you know, who might give you some really good advice or might say something and you're like, holy shit, that's really good. And they might have never designed a board game, but they might just know things. They've played a lot of games or something, you know. So
uh,
this
w-
person who didn't design a great game might know something through other means because they've seen games that are really good. They didn't make one, but they've seen them and they have knowledge of that.
so how okay, so like that drives me crazy. Like how can you see it in somebody else? Like you see
Mm.
greatness. You see greatness and you can't reproduce it,
You can
but
emulate
you
that.
can
Yeah.
write about how they assume it's reproduced, but when they do that thing, they don't do it. Like they haven't read their own article, or their article doesn't work for them, or what's going on here.
I don't
Do,
know, but that's kind of I don't know, it's relatable to me somehow. Like when I started reviewing games, I used to think, I can see things in a design. That doesn't mean I can, do a game design. But like, I am trying that now or whatever. But you can, it's possible, is what I'm saying. It's possible to be able to appreciate something without being able to actually emulate it
right,
yourself.
right. I
And that's like
understand that.
really sad. It's like so depressing. Like,
No,
it's
I
like
understand
music.
that.
Like I can appreciate music, but then I'm sure to a certain degree as well, because I'm not, a musician. There's like things I would like if me and you listen to the same song, it'd be a totally different experience. I'm sure because you're a musician as well, so you
Yeah,
can
but okay,
appreciate other things.
if you're listening to music and you rate it because you can appreciate some of the things that you're doing, that's one thing. But to tell somebody else
For
how
me
to
to write a
write a
book on how
song,
how to
how to write a
yeah, yeah,
song,
that would be so bad.
let's say you're a musician and you haven't done well as a musician. You listen to other great musicians and you come up with how it's done and you write something about it, but you don't transfer that into your own games. Like to me, that's your own music. Like that's uh, it's not relatable. It's not relatable.
Right.
One, because uh, I believe you. If you have the passion for this thing, then do the thing. Don't write about it. Or if you're going to write about it, write about your experiences. Like I want authenticity. I want your experiences.
Yeah.
Like if your
You don't
game
want
didn't do
someone like
well,
you don't want someone to do a book that's like literally them going, I know how to do it. It's like this. But
right,
if
when
they
they
wrote
haven't
it
done it.
about right, when they write about their actual experience, it would be like so you're saying if they wrote it in a different way, it might be better for
Yeah,
you.
totally, totally. Like there's a guy, his name is Brian Kenning. He is a astrophysicist, I believe, and he wrote a book about losing the Nobel Prize.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fascinating because he tells you, what happened, the experience he had with the Nobel Prize and how he hates. Like he starts bringing the light of this idea of doing science for the Nobel Prize and how that's a flawed system anyway. But he didn't realize that it took him losing it to realize how flawed of a system it is. But anyway,
Right.
so his experience. So when you're writing a board game article about designing games with this narrative and you
Yeah.
haven't done it, then what good is it if
Yeah.
you yourself can't use that article to improve your work
Well, maybe it's like a they haven't unlocked it yet. They haven't unlocked it within
with
themselves, but it's
themselves?
in there. But no, I think it is like it's wording that better. It's expressing it better and not being like I'm the authority and I'm going to tell you how to do board game design. Because straight away if someone is like that and there are plenty of people like that on Twitter, I will look you up and I will I will have a look at
I'll
those
judge
games
the
you've
shit out of
made.
you. I'm gonna look at all the
It's
games you made.
yep, it's gonna happen. It's
Okay,
happening.
so it is somewhat subjective, and I know that like some people could say I thought that game had great narrative, right?
Yeah.
But if you're writing a self-help thing about here's how you do it, then I think you need to be able to touch at least the average amount of people who have intaked your stuff. It
Mm.
doesn't have to be we'll go to the grading system. It doesn't have to be
Oh
a
no.
B, an A or B work. It needs to be at least a C. But if it's not a C,
Mm.
we're talking a D or a failure against the people who bought it, for the most part, then I think you haven't made a connection. So the information you're giving is very selective.
Mm.
Like, you know how to make 20% of the people happy, but not 60% of the people happy. So maybe there needs to be a little bit more design, a little less writing. Sorry. I'm a dick
Oh,
because I'm a boomer. In this, I will agree. I will say, I am a boomer. And if you said I'm a boomer, I would agree to it. I am a boomer in this way that I want people who say they have, here's how you do it. I want to see the proof in what you've done.
yeah. You just want to read like the books like by Branson and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. I think that people do get a little bit too
Full of themselves.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a dick, man.
Like it's like I quit smoking yesterday. I'm going to write a book about how to quit smoking.
Yeah.
Like stuff like it's like hang on.
Yeah. And I know that I'm a little bit guilty of this too, and maybe that's why it drives me crazy because it's something in myself that I'm trying to correct. Is
Yeah.
like what do I actually know how to do?
Mm.
Because I give advice and I give advice on everything, and I failed at almost everything. So I'm giving a lot of advice from
Yeah.
a failure standpoint. So
It's really tough. Like if I did write a book about not smoking, and then like yeah, what if you do end up taking up vaping or something? Then you look like a complete screw up. You've
yeah,
just proven to everybody that yeah, I don't know. It's scary. Even like even because I've written reviews, I sometimes go back and go, oh, I can't believe I said that. like doing anything like that is kind of, it's very vulnerable. So to go and be like, I know and I'm the, expert is even scarier to me. I don't think I could ever. I never want to give that impression ever. I'm just going to say that right now, officially on record.
Okay,
I'm not an
so
expert at anything.
this is relatable in, not to me, but something I've seen in the fitness world. Okay.
Right.
So there used to be this dude in a death metal band that was really cool, but his significant other, she did all his social media. So
Mm,
invariably, instead of talking to him directly, like occasionally he'd talk to you, but basically you were going to talk to her. And she was like,
right.
"Hey, we're going to be here." She was really cool, and she ran um, a health side thing, right? So everybody
Right.
who like followed this couple, they ended up also following her in her journey. And like she
Mm-hmm.
would post like how much protein she was having. It was like she was motivating a lot of people to go down this route.
Mm-hmm.
Um like this health route, and she was like bodybuilding and other things. And then they had a bad breakup,
Oh
and then
no.
she was in Europe, and she ended up going back to Canada or something. And then like you would get these posts like once a month to say, "Look, I plan to come back. I've kind of gone off the rails, had a bad breakup."
Oh
And it
no.
just finally, she just never posted it. Like she never posted a selfie again or nothing. Like it was
Oh
all
no.
just like we just knew, like it would have been a walk of shame. So
Mm.
like for her to come back and have gained a lot of weight and like had this big thing, everybody would have supported her, but she felt, I'm sure,
Yeah.
like it was the walk of shame. Like,
Yeah,
I
like I
failed
can't.
you guys all believed in
Oh man.
me.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
horrible. That's
I
like a
know.
really sad. Why would you tell that sad story? I feel so depressed right now. But like on a funny note, there was like a metal guy on the walk that I did just before, and I was like, "This is the first time I've ever seen a metal dude going on a walk, except for you,
A
except
walking
for
metal dude.
yeah, it's like it's
You're
not
rare.
normal,
You
right? I
caught
mean,
you in the
you
wild.
only and you only did it because of me. Let's be real.
So like I said that story because it's that online life thing. There
Yeah.
it, it's so easy to go online and say and put yourself out there,
Mm.
and here's what I do, and here, you want the congratulations for the things you do, so you might say, here's why, yeah, I'm winning, like it's a hard day, but here's the things I'm doing or whatever. But life isn't that simple. Sometimes it gets very complex. It gets hard to do the things you want to do. Sometimes you fail, and I think that I think you have to know that it's just part of it. Like um you
It's
shouldn't
very
go in like at first you feel like a fucking movie star, I'm sure.
mm.
Like I'm the shit. All these people like me, they're all
Yeah.
giving me encouragement,
Yeah.
and you really don't want to let your fans down. But
Yeah.
I think that if the more authentic you are, the more they're willing to go with you wherever you're going. Because
Right.
it's easy to relate to someone who failed. For me, that's much easier to relate to someone who fails than wins, because I don't know what that winning shit is without failing.
Yeah. And well, like you said, times have gotten a lot better. Like online, if you were authentic and you came back and you were like, oh, this is me now, and I've like put on all this weight, and like I want your support and stuff. Like people don't shame. I mean, there are exceptions because there's always dickheads out there, but like, you know, people don't like body shaming and all this stuff anymore. They will support you and they will, you know, but it's, of course, it's like really tough to put yourself out there and to do that in the first place. But it is, I think the world is moving in the right direction with that stuff.
I agree with you, and especially for those roast me things, those are the best.
What? When people go, this is me, roast me kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Oh,
for
man.
me, like I love that, because for me that shows like that you don't take yourself so serious, and
Mm,
that you don't mind like somebody bashing you. It's kind of like
mm,
whenever people go get the caricature done of themselves, and then like
mm.
they do like they accent the worst part of you that you're probably the most subconscious of, and they give you a picture like
Yeah.
you got this
That's
big
why I never
nose and
got
these big
one.
ears.
Oh, why did you say nose? Why
I'm
did you
talking
say
about you.
nose?
It's one of the first things they do.
Nose.
They're like they do your nose, then your chin, then your ears, then your forehead. Then they try to just get it all like they accentuate it so like you're all fucked up.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
sound
kind of
miserable.
like that, and I admire people who are. I'm not willing to get roasted, but
I
I
want to
admire.
be roasted by Bobby Lee because he is so freaking funny when he roasts people and he's so like inventive. Like the shit he comes out with is so it's like not what you said. It's not the obvious stuff. He comes out with weird shit and you're like, "Oh my god, yes." I didn't know it, but like it makes so much sense now. Like he just comes up with weird stuff. I got to send you. There's actually like someone's painstakingly taken Bobby Lee roasting people on like all the different podcasts that he's been on and put
Mhm.
it in a compilation, and it is brilliant. It's like the best thing on YouTube. I'll send it
I
to
have
you.
to check it out for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I just want to get roasted by Bobby Lee. I definitely don't want you to do it.
Oh, I was ready too. I was so ready.
Were you? Oh
Yeah.
my god! So this reminds me. So Daniel Newman listened to like the first two episodes of Nude Cubes, and he said the funniest. He said the funniest feedback. I already told you this, I think, but he was like, "It's almost like you're in couples therapy," and I'm like, "It is," but no one's helping us. We're like walking, we're talking about all like issues, but nobody's here to like resolve anything.
Help us for the week.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just gonna trial by fire.
Yeah, I just want someone to say Sarah's right about this one. Like I just want someone to take my side. Oh my god! But do you know what? Do you know what
What?
was hilarious when you had that thing about the rating,
Hmm.
which was like that was so funny because it just was so divisive in our Discord server. It
It
was
was
like
divisive everywhere.
it was divisive, but especially in there, there was like people that were definitely in your camp with the
Hmm.
whole "there's no tens," blah blah blah, and then there was like me, like there was my side, and Ian who was like, "What? This is insane." Mo is a crazy person.
I don't
It
know
was
what
fun.
what gets me is like everybody took it like way too serious. Like okay, so like first,
No, I don't think they did. Did they?
I don't know. Well, they cared a
They
little
were.
too much about something that's just kind of like this weird quirky thing that I made up just to make up. Like yes, I do rate games like that, but does it matter? No, because it really it's only a way to describe. It's a way for us to connect to me to tell you, oh, I really like this game. Like if you really like this game, it doesn't matter what numbers on it. This game is what I really like. So check it out.
I
If you
love
like
how
that
you're like,
game,
it's not taking it too seriously, but I
but
really
it
don't
really is
think
not
they.
a 10.
Yeah, it's really there's no tens.
I don't
That are
know.
not
Like
serious, but there isn't any.
yeah, it's like everyone I kept hearing like my take on rating is wacky or whatever and I'm like
I
it's
was
not
getting
really that
jealous.
important.
I was getting jealous. I had so many people like messaging me going, um, I listened to the podcast and gee, Mo has some crazy ideas. Mo, and like he always says some funny stuff and Mo. And I'm like, I'm weird too sometimes. I can be
I'm
weird.
famous, damn it.
What? No, I'm not. Why do you say stuff like that? Why do you say that I'm punching down and blah, blah, blah because I'm the famous? Like, no. I wish you would stop saying that. It's so embarrassing.
Really?
Stop it. Yeah. You're going to say more
Um
now, aren't you? You're gonna say more.
no, no. Okay, so we're going to compare we'll really like I think there's more people who listen to the barbecue than even play Cube Rails games. That's why.
No, I don't
I
think
could
so.
be completely wrong,
I think you are
but
about all of it.
maybe, but maybe you guys, the Board Game Barbecue, are the vocal minority, maybe, but I don't think so. I think you're the vocal majority.
It was funny because we got nominated for the Board Game Geek podcast thing,
Hmm.
the Golden Geek, and I was like, what? This is insane. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I'm getting all excited, and then I realized like the winners from the past 5 years aren't, you know,
Eligible,
that aren't eligible.
so they're
Yeah,
willing down to. You're
Right.
the people who are
So
left.
we weren't comparing to Board Game Barrage. We weren't being compared to Shut Up and Sit Down. We weren't being compared to like we've gone through all the big guys. It's just us.
So, how much campaigning did you do? Like, hey guys, pick me, or check out the Board Game Barbecue, or
None, but we're campaigning now for people to vote for us because we got nominated.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
Now we
about.
are.
Like,
Yeah, we're
like,
doing it. Well, I'm not doing any of it.
hmm.
I'm not. Adrian is a little bit. He's giving everyone all the because you need to have geek gold to do it, right? So he's giving everyone he knows some geek gold so they can vote.
This sounds illegal.
Oh, it's so funny.
That is funny.
It is
Geek
funny.
Gold. At one time, I was so desperate. When I first got on BGG, I was so desperate for Geek Gold. I would see like
Why? What
I thought it was
for?
you
What
could
would you
do
do?
more stuff with it.
Okay.
So I
What did you
thought
think that you could do with it?
I don't know, but I
Tell me.
wanted some
Tell
because I
me.
had none. And
You wanted
so
all the micro badges.
no, I didn't even know about micro badges. I just saw there was something called Geek Gold, and I didn't have any. So I
Right.
saw like on Geek List they would sell Geek Gold. Like you can trade 5 Amazon bucks for 100 Geek Gold, and people would do it. When they first
Yeah.
started
This
or
was one of
whatever.
your crazy money schemes, wasn't it?
No, no, no. I wanted Geek Gold, but I wasn't going to trade in Amazon money for it. That's real money.
Yeah.
And then I ended up making a micro badge, and we did the board game group crap on there. And now I just like at some point you just become Geek Gold rich, and you just like
Yeah.
like swim in it like fucking Scrooge McDuck. There's
Yeah.
just so much Geek Gold. I can just hand it out like nothing. I can make it from nowhere.
Right. Yeah.
Plus, there's the I was a where you support them and you get the little badge, for like
Yeah.
several years.
Mm-hmm.
And it dawned on me that Biggie G, like
Biggie G.
Biggie
Yeah.
G, has like all my board game data, So like when
Yeah.
everybody was going on about Facebook being able to customize the ad experience to you, I was like, well, they're mining it, but like fucking Biggie G has all of it. Like I give it to
Yeah.
them. They know exactly where I'm fucking going. I
Yeah.
voluntarily give them everything. So they can
Right.
they can
You
sell that
pay
to
them.
whoever they want.
You pay them to get
Right.
to take
I
it. You're
right.
like, I'm going
I
to pay
pay
you,
you
and here is all my data.
right. And I'm
Right.
going to pay you to buy board games off of everybody like that I want to buy board games on through your market, and I'm
Yeah.
going to go through your I'm going to do all these things and like give you all this money. And I started realizing like, and actively at the same time we were talking about we need something a little bit better than board game than Biggie G. But
Right.
now I don't feel like that. I like Biggie G as a database. I
Yeah.
don't want it as a social site. I don't do hardly any social crap on there at all.
No.
I just look at games, maybe make a list once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I never like it's been years since I've talked on a forum,
Yeah.
answer shit about our own game, and that's about it.
Yeah. But it's good that fans of the game can connect.
Yeah, yeah,
with
it's a good thing.
Mm.
But for me, paying them and doing all the other things was just a little bit much. I
Yeah,
just
that's
felt
fair.
like I stopped in I think 2018. I think plus doing that you get like micro badge fucking certificates that you can get micro badges. They give you get gold.
You know what I want? You know what I
What?
want there to be?
What?
You know how there's like micro badges that say I love and there's a designer?
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a few of them. I've got like I love Vlada, I love
Mm-hmm.
Vital, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I want an I love Mo. I want an I love Mo micro badge. But I want to be the only one because I'm going to be monitoring. I'm going to be monitoring who has
The
that.
moment someone else gets it,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in
I'll be like,
trouble.
who the fuck is this?
So like imagine, okay, so like heaven forbid we break up or whatever, and you're just like monitoring that badge to see who gets it next.
Just keeping my eyes on it. Like, but that is so messed up because like, yeah, I already have I have all these I love whatever's design. I have them myself, and And it's just an admiration thing. It's just an admiration thing. That's all it is. I just like their stuff. And then one girl gets the I love, Amanda Canales badge, and I'm like, what the?
You
What
like you
is
message
this?
her and like, who the hell are you? Who do you think you are? Where did y'all start talking?
But first, I'll look at her game collection.
You gotta approve of that first.
Yeah, because like if she's got a really cool game collection, I'll be like, actually, this is pretty cool. I'm gonna. I want to be friends first. Maybe I
So
just want to be friends.
does this go into the board game menage a trois thing?
Board game menage a trois. Oh,
Yeah, where you cultivate a partner
yeah.
to be third player. Like the plan is
Polyamorous relationship would be perfect for board gamers. We've talked about this.
right. Like, well, first you have to like
for splatter games, we've got to do it. We need a third.
right.
Right.
But like you start off. Well, let me like give you the plan first.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
we're
What's the
fine
plan
with
for
it.
a future polyamorous
No.
relationship?
You start off first is like
Mm.
I have to research a bunch of games
Mhm.
that are playable with 2 but better with 3. Like it specifically has to say that in BGG, right?
Right.
So I end up buying these games and saying, "Oh, they're pretty good with 2," but then saying,
BGG,
"Oh,
if we're using BGG as the player count experts, then maybe BGG should have that as an option to find you someone else for your polyamorous relationship. That might be worth paying for, babe. There you go.
oh, that is worth paying for, I
Yeah.
guess." They pair you
You
up with
become
your third,
yeah. Hmm.
and
Or fourth, or however many.
however
Depends on
kinky you want to get.
well, depends on how. Well, is it more kinky to have more people in the polyamorous relationship? I don't think so. It's not kinky. It's not a kink.
Okay, so
Boomer.
we might be
Boomer.
talking about 2
Not a
different things here. Are you
kink,
saying
maybe. I'm
your
talking about a
your
loving
third?
polyamorous relationship.
So we're talking about a third in the board games, right? That you're trying to get to play your splatter games with you, right?
Yes.
Is
Yes.
sex on the table or off the table? Is it just purely board games?
Maybe we should talk about this not on the podcast.
It's all jokes anyway to me. I'm joking, of course,
No,
but
I know.
like
I know.
the idea is like
And I'm
I'm
not picking
saying
on polyamorous relationships either because they're cool.
no. I'm
Nobody.
saying okay, so like the plan would be, it's that typical thing, and I'm going only with stereotypes. The typical thing where a dude's like, "Oh, I'd really like to get my significant other to be into like we could have a boy two girl like excursion or whatever." They want that weird thing. And I was like, "Well, you can do that with board games first. You get yourself a bunch of 3-player games that you play 2-player, and you say they're not as good 2-player, and then you sneak in the other person, and then."
Like an icebreaker, like a polyamory or like a threesome enablement thing.
Yeah,
Like a
yeah,
threesome
yeah, because
icebreaker. Let's
right, because
have a threesome,
Splotters,
but first let's play this
yeah,
3-player game.
yeah, because
Which
Splotters
is the
always
thing
lead
that
to
you wanted to
sex.
do. Like it's like this is actually the thing I wanted to do, but I don't if I have to do the threesome part, that's fine. But what I really wanted was just to play this game that I have that cost me like $300, and so I just want to play it. But I
So,
don't have a third.
but if you're to break up with the 3-player person in this little sex thing,
Hmm.
like I think it's easier to break up with them over sex, even if it was about board games. So let's say you don't like playing board games with them because they're too slow or they're too competitive or whatever, but you always blame it on sex because sex is way more complex.
So hang on. It's so in your mind, it's easier to say to somebody you're bad at sex than it is to say you're
No, it's
bad
me. It's
at
not
board
you. It's me.
games.
It's not you. It's me. I'm bad at sex with you.
Oh.
Or
With you, with just specifically you.
with this other person I'm okay with the third part of the party or
Oh
the
my
second part of the party I'm okay with, but the third part not so much.
That's so
No, I
funny.
think it's
My stuff
easier.
usually works, but with you, it just doesn't work.
Well, how hard is it to break up with somebody on board games if you're gonna like okay, so you're involved with them romantically in this
Right.
weird dynamic you have going on. I'm saying weird because you guys are not weird because it's a 3-part thing dynamic, but because it's a board game thing mostly. So you've got
Right.
this thing where you have this sexual relationship and this board game thing, and you want to break up with them because they're bad at board games. Like, you know how hard, like, even if you don't even add the complexity of sex, how hard it is to get rid of somebody that's not in it. You stop inviting them. You just stop inviting them.
Yeah, well, you could do that. But just do the what people do
You
these days. They
ghost
just
them?
ghost. You just ghost, I guess. Can I just ask you a question?
No. Go ahead.
Am I gonna get like dumped if I'm not good at board games? Like,
No
you're
comment.
on a current winning streak in Race for the Galaxy. Does that mean like there's, you know, an impending breakup on the horizon or what? Like, why would you break up with someone because they're bad
Well,
at games? This is rude.
okay, so first we'll go
So
with Race
rude.
for the Galaxy.
Okay.
You need to start winning. No,
Messed up.
when I say bad at board games, I mean bad with you. Like like some people are just not into being competitive, or they're over competitive, or they're over analytical, or whatever it is. I'm
It's like
just
the
saying
board
it's a
game
bad
chemistry
matchup.
doesn't right. The board game chemistry
Yeah,
doesn't
the
work
board
on
game
it.
chemistry isn't there.
Yeah.
Let's say you have great sex chemistry but bad board game chemistry,
Yeah.
and you decide to break up because of the bad board game chemistry, and you ghost them, right?
Yeah.
Well,
It's the
you
opposite of us, right?
whenever they message you, right?
Right.
Because you ghosted them, I don't think they're going to be complaining about the board games. Like, why did you? Maybe they are. I don't care about the sex, but what the fuck are you ghosting me over the board games for? My experience in ghosting somebody in board games is they take the hint pretty easily. As far as they're not going to contact you, you just don't answer. Like, it doesn't go
Right.
psycho. It does go needy, but not very psycho.
Right. Yeah.
But I assume that the sex thing it could go pretty bad. And then you add the two together.
Like Fatal Attractions style
Board game Fatal
stuff.
Attraction.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
We're painting a terrible picture of polyamory, by the way, which I was not like. I
Yeah,
just
no,
want to
I'm
say
not trying to do that. I'm
beats.
more having fun about board games.
Yeah.
It's sex and board games,
Having
and
sex in
doing this
board games.
weird dynamic
Feeling
because
obligated to have a threesome because you
I want
just
3-player
want.
games.
That's so messed up.
So anyone who comes over
Can we,
to play 3-player games, you're going to be all like, "We have to have sex now." You
babe,
did listen to the podcast, right?
babe, do you know what I'm gonna do?
Oh no.
Tell me if this is a good idea. But I'm thinking about emailing Splotter to say to ask them, like, okay, can you please do a 2-player game?
So because I'm tired of threesomes.
Because my partner is now wanting like to bring another woman into our home. Oh my god, that would be so crazy. I wonder what they'd say. I don't think they'd believe it.
They would. I think they would want to maybe make uh, like an automata or whatever you call it.
Oh yeah,
The,
maybe they would. Maybe they'd be like, you know what, you could just
there's
try.
real sex dolls and AI. We're gonna marry them together, and you're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
That goes back to my, AI sex doll fucking board game
It
couple
does. Well,
thing.
that's the answer.
That's the answer.
Really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. If you're not really into polyamory and you want a third for board games, there you go.
Yeah. Finding another friend is too hard, especially when you're as annoying as us, as we already established last time.
Well, anyway, okay,
I'm
so
annoying when I play with you because I pick on you too much.
you a little less picking on, a little bit better at Race for the Galaxy, please. What? You were on a total winning streak until you got sick, and then you're like, oh no.
That's right. It was because I was sick. That's
Yep.
the only reason. I thought I was going to win that last game too. Oh man, I thought I was going to win it, and I got so upset when I didn't win.
I know you were so upset that I didn't say anything. I was like, I'm just gonna let her sit in her own fumes.
Because if I knew that round it was going to end, I would have built. I had a 9 point development which I could pay for, and you only beat me by 1. So if I'd built it, I would have won.
Would have. Yep.
Didn't win.
Can't.
Can't go.
You are
back
playing
now.
against me. Too bad. Not that easy to win. What?
Okay. I am feeling better though now. Let's
We're
rematch.
done playing. We're not playing anymore ever.
No.
I guess that's a good spot to
Yeah, that's good. You can go play Eraser of the Galaxy now, babe.
what? All
You can
right.
go play. You can go play now. Yeah, no, that's a good spot because you said 45 minutes.
And we're over.
Yeah,
All right, cool. Check us out on stuff
yeah,
and
but
subscribe
not
and
that
stuff.
many stuffs because at the moment we actually don't get distributed everywhere.
Everyone who complains it's the same streaming service. We just need to upload our RSS directly to them. If that's that, I
Okay,
don't know the fucking jargon. It's that,
RSS feed,
yeah, but that one, it's that one service,
which was
Podcatcher or whatever it's called,
yeah, okay,
Podcaster. We just
hmm
have to figure out that one, and everyone who's complained, they'll be happy.
okay. We'll
All
figure
right,
that out hopefully, and yeah, thanks for listening.
all right, here we go. So how do you turn this damn thing off?